Hello, my dear grade 5 students. I'm so excited to have you in my class this year. We are going to do and learn so many things. I hope you have your school supplies ready, and I hope to see you on Zoom meeting live session on Tuesday, so be prepared. I hope you enjoyed the last few days of summer break. Now it's time to get back to school. I'm your English teacher for this year, Mrs. Liliane Murray. So I hope that this year we can learn and have fun at school. So now are you excited to start our first lecture? Okay, stay tuned then and follow my instructions. So, my dear and lovely students, our first lecture will be like a revision, and it's just a revision for something that you have covered the last year. It's not difficult, it's not complicated at all. It's just one grammar lesson, which is four kinds of sentences. So, who knows what are the four kinds of sentences? Think of it, then continue the video. Before I start to explain the four kinds of sentences, let's have a look over the objectives that are going to be covered in this video. First of all, we are going to review what a sentence is. Then, we should differentiate between a sentence and a fragment. And you would ask, what is a fragment? Wait until we reach this slide and you will know what's a fragment. Then we're going to be able to identify the four different kinds of sentences. Plus, you are going to be able to determine the correct punctuation for each sentence. Are you ready? Let's start. To start with, what is a complete sentence? Think of it. What should I have in order to say that this group of words is a complete sentence? Must I have only a subject? Or shall I have only a verb? Or maybe a subject and a verb and something that completes the meaning? What do you think, students? Let's see. A sentence needs to have a main clause to develop the idea in a sentence. So I must have a main clause to develop the main idea of a sentence, or that to give me a complete thought. Or in other words, to make it simpler to you, a sentence is a group of words, okay, that gives me a complete thought. How would the sentence give me a complete thought, and how can I consider it a complete sentence? There are main parts that must be found in the sentence in order to say that this is a complete sentence. What are these main parts? Let's see. A sentence needs three components. I need three main components in the main clause in order to say that this is a complete sentence. What are these components? First one is the noun, or in other words, we can say it's the subject, because I cannot say that I have a complete sentence if I don't know who is. Please pay attention to the word who. Who is doing the action in the sentence? So when I say a noun, I mean the subject. In other words, I mean who is doing the action in the sentence. Okay, so after I know the subject, what must I have? I must have the verb. What is the verb? It's the action done in the sentence. What is it? It's the action done in the sentence. So till now, I have the noun, which is the subject, and the verb, which is the action, okay? But what else? Maybe I would have a subject and a verb, but I don't consider it a complete sentence. Why? Because it might not have a complete thought. So, in order to have a complete sentence, I must find these three main components in the group of words, which are the noun, the verb, and the complete thought. Okay? Plus, pay attention. In order to have it 100% complete sentence, it should start with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation or ending mark. The ending mark depends on the kind of the sentence. Later, you are going to get introduced to these ending marks. But first of all, let's have an example. For example, look at this picture. What would you say? The boy is running on the street, for example. So here, when I say the boy is running on the street, is it complete sentence? Let's ask ourselves, does it have a subject? Who? Who is running on the street? The boy. So I got an answer for the question who, so I have a subject. Okay, so what is the boy doing? Is running. The boy is running. So he is running. Is running is the action done in the sentence. So I have a verb here. Okay? And ask yourself, when I read the boy is running on the street, do I understand the sentence? Yes, I understand it. So does it give me a complete thought? Yes, it gives me a complete thought. So the boy is running on the street has a noun, a verb, and a complete thought. So can I consider it a complete sentence? Yes, for sure, I can consider it a complete sentence. A similar example, the man runs. You see, noun and verb. The man is a noun. What is he doing? Runs. Okay, so it is the verb. In this sentence, I have a noun, I have a verb, and I have a complete thought, so I can consider it a complete sentence. Together, the noun and verb make a complete thought. You see here, the noun and the verb, they make a complete thought. I hope that now the definition of a complete sentence is clear for you. Let's move to the next slide. So, guys, now that we have finished from the complete sentence, and I'm sure that you have mastered the complete sentence, we have to move to fragments. What are fragments? If you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that you are going to differentiate between a fragment and a complete sentence. So fragment has to do something with complete sentences, but what is it? Okay, now we'll see. First of all, before I get in details, let's explain the meaning of a fragment. When we say a fragment, we mean a piece or a part, okay? It's a piece or a part. If I want to define the word fragment, I mean a piece of or a part. Maybe a fragment of a glass, for example, a fragment of wood, a piece of wood, a piece of glass, I mean, okay? But what has fragment to do with sentences? Let's see. A fragment is missing one of the key components of a main clause. In other words, let's say a fragment is a group of words that is missing one of the key components of a main clause. It's missing one of the main key components, okay, which make them or make the group of words complete sentences. Again, we repeat, what are the key components? The key components are the noun, the verb, and the complete thought. So if one of the group of words, if this group of words is missing one of the key components, maybe it's missing a noun, maybe it's missing a verb, or it's missing a complete thought, can I consider it a complete sentence? For sure, no. I cannot consider it a complete sentence. What do I call it? I call it a fragment because it's giving me only a part of a complete sentence. It's not giving me a complete sentence, okay? Only a part. And it's missing the other part. Example, okay? And sneezed loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Ask yourself here. First of all, you might think or that it's not giving you a complete thought. Yes, you're true. Okay, you're right. It's not giving a complete thought. It doesn't have a clear idea. Okay, and ask yourself also. Who sneezed? Can I get an answer? For sure, no, I cannot get an answer. I don't know who sneezed. So, do, can I get an answer for the subject or a noun? No, I cannot find a subject or a noun here in this group of words. So, does this group of words misses something? Yes, this group of words misses something. Okay, so can I consider it a complete sentence? No, I cannot consider it a complete sentence. So what do I call it? I call it a fragment because it's missing the noun. When I ask myself who sneezed, I cannot get an answer. Okay? Another example. The man fishing on a deep, cold blue lake and it stopped. So what? What does this group of words tell me about the man fishing or the fisherman? I get nothing. Can I get a complete idea or a clear idea? For sure, no. And ask yourself also, do I have a verb? What was the fisherman doing? I don't know also. So this group of words, okay, is missing a verb. So can I consider it a complete sentence? No, I cannot consider it a complete sentence. What should I call it? I call it fragment. It's not a complete sentence, it is a fragment. One more example. After Joe went to school. Okay, what happened after Joe went to school? I don't know. Can I get a complete idea or a complete thought? No. So, is it a complete sentence? No. Also, it's not a complete sentence. So, what should I call it? A fragment. Excellent, my students. It's a fragment. It's not a complete sentence. So, now can you guess the difference between the complete sentence and the fragment? Again, repeat, the complete sentence is a group of words that has all the main components found in it. Noun, verb, and complete thought. Okay? But the fragment is a group of words that is missing one of the key components. Okay? Now we can move to the next slide. So now that we have finished and mastered the complete sentence and the fragment, we can move to our main objective in this video, which is the 4 types of sentences. What are the 4 types of sentences? Okay, you are going to know them now. But first of all, let's have these 4 sentences. Let's answer the questions. What does each sentence express? How does it start and end? Okay, let's read each sentence alone. Then we tell what it expresses and how it starts and ends. First one, give me a piece of pizza. Give me a piece of pizza. First of all, ask yourself, does it give a complete thought? Yes. It starts with a capital letter? Yes. It ends with a period? Yes. But you might say here that it starts directly with a verb, okay, and it doesn't have a subject. Let's think of it together. Give me a piece of pizza, but it gives me a complete thought. But what does it express here? Bring me that pencil, for example. Sit down. Sometimes when the teacher enters the class, she directly says, sit down. So here, what is the teacher doing or giving? Okay, giving an order. Excellent. There is an order. I'm telling someone to do something. Excellent. I'm telling someone to do something. Give me a piece of pizza. So I'm telling the other kid or the other boy or the man to give me a piece of pizza. So this is an order or a polite request, we say. Okay, it's an order or a polite request. So the first sentence, it expresses an order or a polite request. It ends with a period and it starts with a verb. Do you know what do we call this type of sentence? We call it a command. Okay? We call it a command or an imperative sentence. Let's take the second example. Why is John late for our date? Why is John late for our date? You might directly look here and say that it is a question. Excellent. And it ends with a question mark. Okay, and I'm asking why. I have a WH word at the beginning. Okay, why is John late for our date? It gives me a complete idea. It has a verb, it has a subject, okay, and it has the correct punctuation at the end, and it is a question. So till now, I have two types of sentences. I have the command, which is the order, and I have the question. Number three, the girl in the white jacket is lost, and I have a period at the end. You might say that it's an order. No, it's not an order or a command. Why? Look at the beginning. The girl, the subject, the sentence starts with the subject. And does this sentence give me an order here? No, it's not giving me an order. What is the sentence expressing? It's telling something. So it's stating something. From the word stating, what can I tell? I can tell that this sentence is a statement. It is a statement because it tells something, and it starts with the subject, ends with the period. Okay? So pay attention here. The comment and the statement, they end with the same punctuation mark. They end with the same punctuation mark, which is a period. But there is a difference at the beginning of the sentences in the order. The sentence starts with the verb, or I might have a polite word at the beginning, and the statement starts with the subject, then the verb. Okay, and it ends with a period at the end. We can move now to the last example. I made a perfect score on this test. I made a perfect score on this test, and it ends with, what do I call this mark? I call it exclamation mark. Do you know when we use, okay, do you know when do we use the exclamation mark? We use it when we are expressing feelings. That's good. We use it when we are expressing feelings, strong feelings. So can I tell that this sentence is a statement? No, it's not a statement, it's an exclamation. Why do I say that it's an exclamation? Because it is expressing strong feelings. Why? It is expressing strong feelings. So the four types of sentences are command, statement, question, and exclamation. Okay? Now let's move in details for each type of sentences. And we are going to start with the declarative type, which is the statement. A declarative sentence makes a statement. So I have two names for this kind of sentences, statement or declarative, but you can use statement only. Okay? So a declarative sentence makes a statement. It is punctuated by a period. It ends with a period. Okay? Example, the dog in the neighbor's yard is barking. This sentence gives me or tells me something. So it gives a statement, and it starts with the capital letter and ends with a period. So this is a statement. The second type is the imperative or the command. An imperative sentence is a command or polite request. You see, command or polite request, but we use the word command in general. Okay, so an imperative sentence is a command or polite request. It ends in a period, or sometimes, not all the time, sometimes exclamation mark. Okay, sometimes I have an order, but in the order or the polite request, I have feelings, so I use the exclamation mark. Examples: close the door. Okay, close the door after you enter. This is a command, it gives an order. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. You might say, what is the verb here? Here the verb is be. This is the verb to be. And the please is a polite word. We use it for orders and polite requests. You see? Polite request. The third type is the exclamatory, which is related to exclamation. An exclamatory sentence expresses great emotion or excitement. Expresses great emotion or excitement. Okay? Feelings. When we say emotion, we mean feeling. Okay? It ends in an exclamation mark. It ends with what? In an exclamation mark. Example: the house is on fire. Here, this sentence expresses fear. Okay? So the feeling here is fear. The house is on fire. I have to put an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. The fourth and last type of sentences is the interrogative sentence or the question. An interrogative sentence asks a question. What does it do? It asks a question. So I can call it a question. Also, at the same time, I can say interrogative or a question. It ends in a question mark. You see, it ends in a question mark. Example: is it raining? Is it raining? I start with a capital letter and I end with a question mark. So now that we have finished from explaining the complete sentences, the fragments, and the four types of sentences, it's time to practice our minds. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Exercise A. Decide whether each of the following word group is a sentence or a sentence fragment. So I have to decide if each group of words is a complete sentence or a fragment. How? I'm going to help you. Number one, these are the people you met at the party. These are the people you met at the party. Okay, first of all, ask yourself, who am I talking about? This. So I have a subject. Yes. What I'm telling about these people, okay, these are is a verb here. So I have a subject, a verb. Do I have a complete thought? Yes, I have a complete thought. It starts with a capital letter, ends with a period. So is it a complete sentence or a sentence fragment? Since I have a complete thought, I have a subject, I have a verb, then it is a sentence. Excellent. It is a sentence. 2. When I took my exam today. When I took my exam today. When you read this group of words, do you understand it? No. Is it clear? No. So it's not giving a complete thought. Okay? It's not giving a complete thought. And the verb here is not clear. So is it a sentence or a sentence fragment? Since it's missing one of the key components, so it's not a sentence, it is a fragment. Excellent. 3. I was very nervous. I was very nervous. Who I, so I have a subject. Where is the verb? Was. Was is the verb. Does it give a complete thought? Yes, it gives a complete thought. So I have a noun, a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. So it is a sentence. 4. Played with his old toys. Played with his old toys. Who played with his old toys? So directly you would ask yourself, who? Do I know who? No. So do I have a subject in this sentence? Not at all. So is it a sentence, complete sentence, or a sentence fragment? Since it's missing a subject, so it's missing one of the key components, then it is a fragment. So you see, it's very easy. Now let's move to the last exercise. Now exercise B, the last exercise in this video, and it's about the types of sentences. So I must do two things here in this exercise. First, add the correct end mark, then tell the type of each sentence. So I must add the correct end mark to each sentence and I have to tell its type. What are the four types of sentences? Question, comment, statement, and exclamation. Okay, first one. Do you know what day it is? Directly when you read the sentence, you figure out that it is a question. And you have to notice here that do you know? I have verb then subject, okay? I don't have subject then verb. Since the verb is before the subject, then it is a question. So how must it end? It must end with a question mark. Okay, number two, ice cream is my favorite food. So I'm telling someone that ice cream is my favorite food. You notice I'm telling. So when I'm telling something, so it is a statement. When the statement ends with a period. Okay, three, I enjoy fishing. I enjoy fishing. So here I'm expressing my feelings. And when I'm expressing emotions and feelings, it is exclamation. And how does the exclamation end? It ends with an exclamation. Okay. Number four. What is your favorite meal? I'm asking someone what is his favorite meal, and notice that I have a question word. What is your? Is before the subject. Again, I repeat, I have here the verb before the subject. I have is before your, then it is a question, and it ends with a question mark. Five, how well she sings. Someone might directly say that this is a question and it starts with how. But I might say, sorry, it's not a question. Why? Let me tell you. How well she sings. First of all, it's not asking a question directly when you read the sentence. It's not asking about something, it's expressing admiration and feelings. Okay, how well she sings. And also, she sings. So I have the subject, then the verb. When I have the subject, then the verb, then it's not a question. And it is expressing emotions and admiration, then it is an exclamation and it ends with an exclamation mark. Six, Mercy always chews gum. Mercy always chews gum. So I'm telling something about Mercy. So it's what? It's a statement and it must end with a period. Excellent. Seven, get out of the way. Get out of the way. It's like I'm ordering someone to get out and it starts with the verb. Here the sentence starts with the verb and I'm ordering, then it is a command. And what does the command end with? It ends with a period. Excellent. Last one but not least, eight, run faster. Run faster. I'm telling someone to do something, so I'm giving him an order. Run faster. And it starts with the verb. Then it is what? It is a command also. Excellent. Then I must add a period. Then I write a command. So, my dear students, now that we have finished everything for this week, I hope that everything is clear for you. Now you can move to your worksheet that is related to this video and you solve it. You try your best and don't worry at all if you do any mistakes, okay? Because during the live session, we are going to solve the worksheet together and everything that you haven't understood, you can ask me about it. Be prepared, okay? And stay tuned to see you. Bye.